Scratching my face again. Good Wednesday morning. It's the 25th, I believe, of this month. So we're almost done with another fun-filled month of cold crap. Speaking of cold crap, it was 77 degrees yesterday. Today we're not supposed to hit 60. So, welcome to Iowa. It'll probably snow tonight. And as I promised in the shout box, Bill, Tigg, solo laps, boring. Should have done one of those as a green, white checker, really, buddy? Or at least not done one of them. I know all three series is running there this weekend, or I don't even pay attention to who's running when anymore. I just turn the TV on and watch. Or actually, I don't even watch. I sit here at my computer. If you look over my shoulder, there's my TV behind me. So I don't actually watch my TV. I just listen to it. We should have done a green, white checkered, a 10-lap shootout, something with the truck. At least the trucks. That would have been fun because the CTS physics on that track are fun. Actually, the cup physics are kind of fun on that. The grip version on that. They did a good job on that. The cup's pretty good. I got in that to, 56 seconds and 56.8 seconds in the draft, something like that. Pardon me, I didn't show my back. But anyway, yeah, we should have done a 10-lap shootout or something with one of those. It was just going around in circles. And on that note, any more of the going around in circles, especially on cup tracks, there won't be videos on this blog anymore. I may do the shorts, not non-NASCAR shorts, and the dirts. I'm gonna do that thing we did. What was that one for R Factor? We did the Legends. It was the hot lap was so short it recorded 2 laps. So that's kind of interesting that R Factor, the Dark Side of the Moon, would record 2 laps because the hot lap was so short, or actually save 2 laps. It records the whole thing and just choose not to have it save the whole recording. It just takes up too much room. Anyway, I haven't yet to fire up GPL to see how that runs. Or GTL. GPL I run. That sim's hit or miss whether the steering wheel wants to work right or not. Hell, half the time it wants to load up in a 640 by 400 window or whatever, and I have to change all the settings again. And then reload it, and keep reloading until it loads up into at least a decent sized window so it takes up the full screen on my 32-inch monitor over there. Anyway, neither here nor there. Frog in my throat. The allergies are really kicking my ass. That Willow Springs hot lap challenge that we had yesterday, that was a lot of fun. I was surprised I got as fast as I did. I was expecting to get to 125. When I got to 121, I was very happy with that. In fact, I was going after a sub 120 lap. When I got to the final turn, I was really pushing hard, and I pushed it over the edge of the track. And of course, once you go off the edge of there's a hair right there. Once you go over the edge of the track, and it, lap's done. But it felt like it was a sub 120 lap. You can't tell with the NR2K because it's an oval sim, and it doesn't have sector times. I still want glance in it, when you turn the wheel. It looks to the left a little bit so you can see into the corner, and it looks to the right when you look. That's the left, that's the right. Looks to the left when you turn to the left, looks to the right when you turn to the right a little bit so you can see into the corner, which I didn't like when I first started doing it, and I decided, I don't know, 6 months ago or so, to try that out, and it was just a matter of playing with the hair is still there. It's driving me nuts. Playing with it, put it up to full intensity, and then just backed it down 5 points at a time till I found something that was comfortable. And I did, and it actually became like more like real driving, because you don't sit like there static. That's not the word I'm looking at. Static, and drive like that. You look. So that's what I did, and then changing the settings, I made them a wheel to make it feel more realistic. I think I've got my sim racing down pretty good. I got a busy day today, that's why I'm getting this done early. I got to get up and out of here in about an hour and get some crap done in town, and town's 11 miles away, just to the edge of town. And then I've got to go into town, which is another 5.5 miles to where I've got to go. Woohoo! Got things to do. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Beats sitting around the house sim racing all day, doesn't it? I'd rather do that. Tell your friends about this so YouTube recognizes me, says, hey, look, we need to pay this asshole some money. Yeah, that ain't never gonna happen. I'm not a pretty little girl with pretty little tits. But tell some of your friends I'm amusing. At least I think so. My wife thinks I'm amusing. She's back here snickering. You can't hear her, but she is. Everybody needs to laugh every day, and if you want to laugh at a crazy old man, then go ahead and laugh at a crazy old man. Beats killing people. Though there are times I feel like doing that. And we don't need 50 versions of the same track. Unless you can make a track where you're driving on it and a divot, it gets a pothole that develops right in the middle of the race where you have to red flag the race to fix it. You don't need a 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005 version of a track. The only thing that changes from year to year on most cases is the signage. If you remember, while some of you aren't old enough to remember the potholes that developed at Daytona and Talladega and Martinsville, and I think one developed at Bristol. That's from years of abuse, like 20 years of abuse, whether driving on and the potholes develop just like on your streets. The surfaces of these tracks don't change from year to year unless it's basically when you fire up the sim, it's like it's green track, and unfortunately it was never incorporated. But that was one of the things that was supposed to be in the 2005 version also, was rubber buildup. As you go through the session, there was a lot of things that were there wasn't going to be a 2004 version, there's going to be a 2005 version, and there's going to be a lot of cool things, and a lot of that went into iRacing. Anyway, we've missed out a lot because they were money hungry. That's the way I look at it. They were money hungry. They weren't making enough, and they didn't have enough money to pay. I'm not going to get into it. So, all that good stuff. And the glance was supposed to be in it for all your... A lot of the stuff that isn't in the GTP mod was supposed to be in the 2005 version. That's why they got in so much trouble over that mod. Because they unlocked all that stuff in the coding. Because it's actually in the coding. But it's there. It should be able to. I have one installed with road cars. Nothing but road racing cars. I don't like to unlock that glance in that one mod, in that one install. But I ain't gonna kill myself to get it done. Anyway. Well, what was I saying now? I was talking about tracks. They don't change from year to year. They just don't. It may now from 5 years to, 5 years ago to today, the grip might be a little different, but it's not going to be that much unless potholes popped up and they had to resurface. They don't change that often. Loudon, what they did in New Hampshire, is they just repaved the corners with concrete. So did Martinsville, and they could get away with it because they're relatively flat tracks. Dover went all concrete way back, I don't know how many decades ago because they were having problems with the asphalt. Because the weather conditions are harsh in Dover, Delaware. You got salt air, you got snow, you got all kinds of crap. And it was asphalt 40 years ago isn't the same asphalt we have today. So they had to repave. They just went ahead and concreted that whole thing. I think they had to reconcrete a section of that not that long ago. I don't. Hard to keep up with all the changes. But you kids, you keep thinking that you got to have a track for every year. You don't. Learn how to paint MIPs. Learn how to paint one. Learn how to make a MIP second, and then just override them. You can just drop it right into the folder. You don't even have to repack the dat. This is what I used to do for an old league of mine. I made all the signage to be league related, and you just drop MIPs into the track folder, and it writes what's in the dat file. You don't have to take it apart. And the nice thing about that, the simple thing about that is NR2K is they're all named the same thing in every track. The infield is the infield and all everything. Billboards are numbered. The trailers are numbered. They're all the same. It's all the same. All you have to do is unpack one, figure out what is what, and go from there. And it's simple after that. And if I can do it, and I did it for a whole season, it was a pain in the ass changing grass, changing this, changing that. But I did it for a whole season where it was all league related signage. You can do it too. If you really must have 2002 signage on your mock 2002 season, do it that way. Smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.